Okay, guys, so we're going to start a new chapter here on exponential equations, exponential functions, but before we get into that, let's do some exponent rule review. So let's take a look here. X squared y times x cubed y to the fifth. Well, remember, it's all multiplication, really, in between here, too. So what do we do here when we have the same bases? We keep the base, and we add the exponents. And this is to the first, so we get y to the sixth. What about for division? Well, for division, first let's write this here. Multiplying with the same base, keep the base, add the exponents. All right, what about with division? X to the fourth divided by x to the first, subtract x to the third. Y to the seventh divided by y squared, subtract y to the fifth. So keep the base, subtract the exponents. Okay, so using that, what do we get here? Well, if we do x cubed over x to the eighth, subtract, and we get x to the negative fifth, right? Which is fine. That's not incorrect. But how can we rewrite this a different way? And this is something that's going to help you a lot. X to the negative fifth is the same as 1 over x to the positive fifth. These are equivalent. Okay? So we say x to the negative n equals 1 over x to the positive n. Now keep in mind, it also works the other way, where if you have or 1 over x to the negative n is equal to x to the n. If you flip the location of the variable, it changes the sign of the exponent. What about x squared y cubed to the fourth? Now you could sit here and write this 4 times, and you could, and that's kind of annoying. But if you write it 4 times, then you're just going to add the exponents 4 times. So instead of adding something 4 times, why would we do that, right? Let's not do this. Let's just multiply. So this is called the power to a power rule. So power to a power, you multiply the exponents. So you get x squared to the fourth, x to the eighth, y cubed to the fourth, y to the 12th. So power to a power, we keep the base, multiply the exponents. Let's do some practice here. I'm going to do half of it, and you guys are going to do the other half, okay? X to the fifth divided by x squared, subtract x cubed. X cubed times x to the 1/3, right? Add. Don't get confused here. It's just add the exponents. What's 3 plus 1/3? Well, how do you write 3 with a base of 3? That's 9 over 3 plus 1 over 3. That's 10 over 3. So you get x to the 10 over 3. What about here? X to the 1/2 divided by x to the third. It's divide, so we keep the base, subtract the exponents. What's 1/2 minus 1/3? We need a common denominator. So I'm going to multiply this by, what's the common denominator? 6. So 3 over 3, 2 over 2, 3 over 6 minus 2 over 6 is 1 over 6. So we get x to the 1/6 power. What about here? Well, here we have multiplication in the top, multiplication in the bottom, and then division. Let's do the multiplication first. So what's x squared times x to the negative second? Keep the base, add the exponents. 2 plus negative 2 is x to the 0 over, keep the base, add the exponents. Negative 2 plus negative 1 is x to the negative third. Well, what's x to the 0? Anything to the 0 power is 1. So 1 over x to the negative third, which, if we want a positive exponent, bring it to the top, change the sign, it's just x cubed. Number 12, keep the base, add the exponents. What's 2 plus 2/3? Well, that's 6 over 3 plus 2 over 3, right? You can rewrite 2 as a base of 3 by multiplying by 3 over 3. And you get 8 over 3, x to the 8/3. Right? I'm going to do a couple more with you guys. And again, you guys are going to do this right side here. All right, so now we got to add together three fractions. Keep the base, add the exponent since it's multiply. Well, that's not a big deal. Negative 3 over 4 plus 1 over 2. Well, we can rewrite 1 over 2. So you get negative 3 over 4 plus 2 over 4, and that's negative 1 over 4. And then we also have to add 1/3. Unfortunately, this is not a common denominator. The common denominator between 4 and 3 is 12, so I'm going to multiply 1/4, negative 1/4 by 3 over 3, negative 3/12. I'm going to multiply this by 4 over 4 plus 4/12 is 1/12, so you get x to the 1/12. Now keep in mind, these fractions, if you don't want to do it like this, you could do it in the calculator. It's not a problem. The calculator will add fractions for you. Watch. What's negative 3/4 plus 1/2 plus 1/3, and there it is, 1/12. So I would recommend you do it in the calculator. It's good skill to have and to see how it happens, but you could do it right in the calculator. You could add the exponents right in the calculator. Okay, so your work is going to be to complete this right side and the rest of the lesson here. And these two on the bottom will be pretty tough, and then later on I'll post a key to the rest of it.